Alright, take two. We're gonna start this over because I accidentally scooped Alan on a story, so I'm not gonna let that happen. He's already grumpy. But so am I because it's the last show of the season. Oh, how sad. Now I'm gonna have to do other things on Sunday, like watch NASCAR and wrestling and take naps and eat. Boo-hoo. Anyway, are you guys ready for the show? To do the show?
Sure.
Okay, well, Jennifer, I would like you to put the thing on the thing.
I'm busy.
We just went through this. Do what we want us to. We are a team.
Box, right?
Yes,
That's right. We are a team.
We are a team.
You gotta make sure the team knows what's going on.
I've got us for once, for the first time since like episode 4. I've got ourselves a list of topics that I want to talk about. So they're not really topics; it's more of a categorical thing that we're going to get into since it's the last episode of the year.
Was I making noise and that you didn't like that?
The listeners aren't.
We're not recording yet. It's a video. They can see.
I don't think we're going to have audio on this one because the phone's not over there charged.
How many?
Do you need me to plug it in?
I don't have a cord.
Where's the cord at?
It's that red one that I took to the car.
I think most people only watch it anyway, so.
Like Jennifer says, we pay $20 a month for the audio, but I haven't done anything.
Not to toot my own YouTube horn, but I think that's where a majority of the 30 views come from.
I still think we need to have a Dirty Balls YouTube. You can be in charge of it, so it'll still be yours.
What's the difference on if it's gives?
Yeah, but I'd have to rebuild that subscriber base that I have.
All 12 of them?
How are we gonna get the word out? Because nobody ever looks at our Twitter or anything, so they're not gonna know. They're just gonna say, hey, there's no podcast this year, and then we're gonna have to say, no, it's on a different YouTube channel, but then that's the people that are at the games anyway, so it's the same people that are gonna watch on a different channel. But it's the same people still. But I will take that under advisement. Alright, I guess if we're not gonna do the audio, I guess I'll go ahead and redo my introduction. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 24 of the Dirty Balls podcast, the season finale. It's the one you've all been waiting for because the people that are going to be in I was going to give you a number of people, but that was depressing. The people that are going to be in the giveaway should pay close attention to this episode unless you are at the game this evening, because then you would have already received your prize.
I don't know. I think we should hold the prize until the winner of it alerts us that they've listened to the podcast and claimed it. You have 24 hours to claim the prize, or else we move to the next person.
I'd say 72 hours. That's 3 days. That's good.
No, if they are dedicated fans, then the minute the episode comes out, they should be watching or listening.
I am a fan of lots of podcasts, and I don't watch them or listen to them the second they come out.
That's true. That's true.
It takes me a few days. Sometimes I get behind. Anyway, we're going to talk about the best and worst of 2018 as far as our trips go. We got several different categories here in no particular order. I'm going to start with the best and worst park. Now, this is not about atmosphere or the game itself. We're just talking about how good a park looks, what the amenities are, seats, bathrooms, just the best aesthetic park.
From just this year.
From this year that we've been to. Best and worst. Alan, I'll let you start. I think I already know what most of our answers are.
He said shit. He's not ready.
I mean, I'm ready, but I don't want to say Frisco is the best, but because that's the best. Everybody that has watched this shows knows. I'm gonna have to go Durham best. That way, something different. Worst, y'all know the worst.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about looks of the park.
Looks of the park.
Take away the atmosphere, the staff, the food, the game itself. If just from a bird's eye view, that is a good-looking park. Best and worst.
That's a hard one.
I'll keep your Durham answer for best.
Yep, me too.
Jennifer also is going to go Durham for best.
Yep.
My best is still going to be Frisco. Loved it there.
I mean,
Round Rock being a close second. I think Round Rock was really underrated. We didn't give it the props it deserved. because we were only there for one night. But Frisco's great.
Worst, I would have to say.
I know mine.
I know mine.
Maybe Carolina, the Mudcats.
Kannapolis.
Charlotte.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Because I forget about Kannapolis, because I don't work. Yeah, Kannapolis, but by far the shittiest.
How? But Charlotte's got
I don't hate on Kannapolis.
downtown Charlotte's right there behind the outfield.
None of
It's
that
beautiful.
impresses me at all.
I can't believe you.
I just don't like anything about that
Well,
part.
I mean, that's your opinion. I can't change it, but wow.
Just like I don't like Field of Dreams.
Okay, what do you guys, because I know what I like about Frisco. What do you guys like about Durham that makes it the best? Is it the, I don't know, what could it be?
It's everything. I mean, it was our first Frisco, I guess. The walk to the park, if you park in the parking deck and you walk through the...
Oh yeah, that's the little town
Yeah, the little,
around it.
Yeah, and it's
The
got
little
the
like downtown set up,
Yeah,
and
the
then you
river.
got the
running through there, and then
Watertown
it's just
stuff.
the park.
The brick
It's
facade
beautiful.
on the outside
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah, that, and then at the same time, I don't get the chills like I did in Asheville, knowing that that's where some movies have been filmed, but it's just a beautiful looking park, like inside and out.
Okay. Same reasons? or
yeah,
anything?
and the food's good.
Okay, I know why me and Alan don't like Kannapolis. What is it about Charlotte that made it the worst looking?
I just don't like it. I don't know why. It just doesn't have the feel that everywhere else does. Something about it just doesn't work for me. I don't like the concourse part of it. Can you walk all the way around it?
Mm-hmm. Because it's got the dragon in the outfield.
Yeah.
The concourse is very narrow. Hard to
Yeah.
walk through. That's one thing. Not good for big people. Not saying anything about my co-hosts. It's a little joke. Okay, all right. Well, speaking of big people, we're going to move on to the next category, something that I love and I know that we all love here. Food! All right, so we've had a lot of stuff to eat at every park that we've been to this year. So this might be hard, but what is the best and worst food item at a park that we have been to this year? This could be a thinker.
It's not.
Jennifer, I think you already have an answer. I know what Alan's worst is.
You do?
Yeah. If he doesn't know, I'll remind him. Anyway, Jennifer, go ahead and go.
Well, my favorite was that deep fried cookie dough at Asheville. I mean, it was very, very sweet, but it was the best. And then the worst was that nasty ass brat. Where was that? Was that Charlotte? I think it was. Charlotte had it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my ideal of a brat.
So you're going sweet. I'm going like more dinner oriented, like a meal kind of thing with my answer. But I like going for the sweets. I can't really go for the sweets that much anymore because I can't have that much sugar as I'm drinking a Coke. But yeah, that was the deep fried cookie dough was delicious, even though I could only eat one of them and I bought 3 of them. But I had to be generous, and I can't imagine a brat not being good.
I don't like those pale ones
She
that
doesn't
are.
like the
that
raw
taste like
sausage.
I like.
She doesn't like
yeah.
the things that look like horse dicks.
Italian sausage.
I
What
think
they
it's
call it.
backwards. It's usually the Italian sausage, like what we had yesterday. That's what I think a brat is.
That was delicious.
And then wherever ballpark we've been to that I've tried to get one, it's been that light, pale colored white, like sausage type thing.
Well, I guess I'll go now. I'll let Alan go last. He's the food guru of this podcast. My favorite was the brat in Frisco. It was just really good. It was grilled up really well, and it had really good, like a generous amount of peppers and onions on it. I hate when you go to a ballpark and they barely give you any toppings. They gave you like a full amount of peppers and onions. And then you could go out to the little stand outside of the concession stand, the little
Condiment station?
condiment station, yeah, and put some jalapenos on that hoe. And I did that each time. We went to Frisco 3 nights in a row, and I ate 3 brats. I ate one each night, and I did not get tired of it. It was that good. The bun was not too thick. The everything was the perfect ratio. You know, there wasn't too much mustard on that bit. Everything was just great about it. And then the fact that you could add jalapenos to it made it great. Every ballpark should have a condiment station with jalapenos available on it. And the worst, that I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you've complained a lot, so you gotta have some choices in there.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind, and it's what I thought Alan's would be, was the overpriced and undertopped burger at Kannapolis.
I forgot about it when you said this, but then once we started talking, I was like, yeah, that's got to be my worst.
But I don't know if I ate that. I know I ate a burger at Kannapolis. I don't think it was that.
Weren't
one.
those buns really nasty? Like something
Yeah,
about that bun was not.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
I was about to say I hate to talk negative about Kannapolis two categories in a row, but then again, no, I don't. Screw Kannapolis. Who cares?
Screw Kannapolis as they won last night and screwed us out of our chances for playoffs. Right along with West Virginia.
But there's
got
to be something worse because we've been to a lot of parks.
And see,
that's what I'm thinking.
I
We've been
think
to a
we
lot.
picked.
I can't think of
I picked the
parks.
sweets because we don't usually eat food when we go to the parks.
I know it's gonna sound crazy that I'm saying something negative about this awesome place, but the brat at Burlington was weak. But I don't think it's the worst food item I've had at a game. It can't be. It's not close. The stale popcorn that was 3 days old that I had here at home in Hickory was.
Greenville? Does
not
Greenville
great.
usually have some stale chips? Is that right?
We've had some before.
But every time I get popcorn at a Crawdads game, it's pretty good. But one time I got it and it was like really stale. But I'm not gonna say that's the worst either. I think it might be that burger at Kannapolis. But we've been to what 13 parks this year.
I can't even name the 13 parks.
I didn't eat. Round Rock is the only park that I did not eat anything at.
What do we have in Tennessee?
Oh, Tennessee has a really good brat too.
I don't think we had anything to eat at Tennessee.
I had a brat in Tennessee that was great.
We had that shaved ice because that's what we got that
We had
Chris
the
Bryant
shaved-
cup.
Yeah, we had the shaved ice, and then we had the drink cups that Lucas went back to get cheer wine, and it was fucking
Root
It's
beer.
like root
but they
beer.
said they don't even sell root beer.
I'm gonna offer up maybe a low key one that we all forgot about, but I'm gonna wait until Alan gives his because I might be stealing his. So
No,
Alan,
you're
go
not.
ahead and go.
You're not going to steal mine because it's a toss up between the Round Rock nachos that Lucas had,
Didn't eat
brisket.
Round Rock.
but I'm not a brisket fan, or the nachos
Oh, Charlotte.
in Charlotte.
Oh, I was gonna suggest this isn't a ballpark food, but the brisket tacos at Wild Pitch, that was delicious. But what I was gonna say was those pretzel things in Durham.
Well,
Yeah.
that's without saying. Those were the great.
So the best and then the worst.
The best, like I said, it's a toss up. It's a toss up between nachos because they were loaded. You know, one was a Philly cheesesteak, and the other one was brisket. So it's a southern brisket type, a southwest brisket type thing. So I'm gonna have to go Charlotte because that's what I ordered and that's what I ate.
Well, it's not what you ate because that's when I got that bratwurst and I ended up having to eat those nachos because the bratwurst was gross.
Okay, so let's see.
But I mean, you did eat some, but yeah, those nachos were good and they were packed full of the cheese. I think that's what we like so much about it, right?
I mean, but if it has to be the best food that I like, it's not from this year, but it's a stadium that we've been to, which is Asheville's taco salad.
That's the best all around for your money and
Yes,
everything.
and the worst, of course, is that piece of shit burger from Kannapolis.
And I don't know that the burger was that bad. Well, the bun
The burger
was
was
gross.
bad because it was just a regular frozen burger they threw on the fucking grill and heated it up and done. Of course, you're not going to get many, padded out burgers and
But I think the point was that you paid more because it had a special name.
And it didn't even
And it
have
cost
bacon.
more, right? It cost more than the one that I got that just had bacon on it.
so, oh well.
All right. Well, maybe we'll think of more things later because I can't really narrow down one worst thing. I guess the Kannapolis burger because I think I did eat one and it wasn't that good. So next one, the best and worst. This is an atmosphere kind of question, but the best and worst fans that we encountered at an away stadium.
You had to throw that away part in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Best fans, Burlington. Worst,
But that was just that one game.
yeah. I mean,
The other game
Yeah,
didn't
the game
have
we
as
went to,
much
it wasn't-
spirit.
And we thought it was
But at the
good.
same time, we've only been to Asheville once this year, so how can we? But you know,
I was impressed the first time I went to Tennessee, not when I went with y'all, but when I went by myself, because there's a bunch of cowbells and horns and stuff, and there was Tito Polo was batting for Kannapolis, and section, I think, like a section over here on the third base side and on the first base side went back and forth saying Tito Polo, like Marco Polo. So that was pretty cool. I think the first time I went to Tennessee was pretty impressive, but I also got to say Burlington that one night. But I think between the two, I'm going to go with Tennessee because it was just so unexpected. I thought Tennessee, that's right next because that stadium's right next to Pigeon Forge, so I thought they wouldn't have much of a local following. I thought it'd be really touristy, but it felt like everybody there was really into it.
point taken. Yeah,
So, and worst,
Kannapolis.
Kannapolis, because
Why?
nobody's
They
there.
don't have a fan. They don't do nothing. Well, who's your worst?
Well, that's kind of different.
They never say anything.
Really,
I'm not. Look, you can go one or two ways with this
There's
answer.
really you can't bash a fan
It's
fandoms.
kind of different because if you're asking the worst fans, well, Kannapolis doesn't have the worst fans because they don't have fans.
No.
They have the worst fan base.
You can go two ways with this. One, you can go with fans that are completely apathetic and don't do anything, or fans that are just rude and belligerent and awful.
Right. And I
I
don't
think
know that
me
we
and
run
Alan,
into
me
any
and
this
Alan
year.
went with the first kind with Kannapolis. Maybe you've got some of the other.
I don't.
I don't think of any
I
places
have-
we've been this year that they look at us and be like, you know, you're the enemy. We don't like you. I mean, everybody's been pretty much
Well,
accepting.
our next
Un-
question will
unless
have
it's-
that.
Is that about
No,
that
that's fans. The next one I see,
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
just
yeah.
totally, yeah.
But we'll
But
get
yeah.
to that.
So yeah,
We have two extremely clear answers for the next.
everybody. I think we're all going to be in agreement on the worst here. So go
And the
for it.
best might be a toss-up because did we finish the Jennifer? Did you
I mean,
give
I
it
didn't
worst
really
fan
have
base?
any.
It's have I gone Kannapolis with the worst on everyone so far?
Yeah, you're
Okay,
really
well,
hating on them.
it's not going to be the worst on the next one. I think we're all in agreement here on this next one. Okay. Jennifer doesn't really have an answer
I
for
mean,
this.
like that one time that we went to the first time we went to Burlington was probably the best.
What if I switched
away
it up? What was
fan
the
experience.
what was the worst group of fans that came to Hickory?
Madison Stokes' family.
That was obvious. That's
Do you want to put those against the old couple?
I don't care about those old couple because it's a couple and they just occasionally do some stuff, but they're not a whole group of people
all right.
that are cheering for a whole team because of one kid on that team.
The next question is staff. The people that work at the stadium and around the stadium.
I'm not even
for
going
that
to answer
matter.
worse. We all know this.
Well, let's just all say it on the count of three because we're all going to say the same thing. 1, 2, 3.
Winston-Salem.
That was great. All right, just awful. We don't even need to get into it. We have an episode about it. Go back and watch that. We leave in like the top of the third.
Yeah, because Chase batted. He was up to bat the second time, and we left after that.
Mm-hmm. Now the best, it's a tie between two for me.
Me too.
The tie is going to between Burlington and Frisco, and Frisco because we had that really nice guy that gave us the tour of everything, and also Red Alert, but that's not even a thing. But in Frisco, just everybody was real nice. I didn't encounter a single mean person or a single rude person, or everybody was really helpful. They seemed like they cared about the fans, and they seemed like they cared about the team. Their on-field host was a hot lady, and they had a really nice guy that gave us a tour of everything and let me go into the press box, which was amazing. And the other one, Burlington, because, well, go back and watch that episode. We talked about that for almost a full hour, and then opened up a can of worms that we had since closed, almost. So, Alan.
My best is a tie between Texas and Frisco. Frisco and Round Rock. Round Rock because they helped me out with my bobblehead and they were genuine. I mean, you know, they helped out with the bobblehead and with my baseball flag table. If I ever get it done, they didn't have a ball there that had the logo on it, but she was really helpful in trying to figure a remedy out for that. So
Really not? You're not going to go with Burlington? We came several weeks later, and that girl still remembered us.
well, yes, I mean,
That was cool.
But I think if I was to drive back to Round Rock and talk to that same person in the store, she'd remember us too. But I mean,
And your reasoning?
the only because it's the same thing you said, and
Yeah.
but I mean, like I said, out of all the baseball parks that we traveled to this year, there's only one park that tops everything as the worst. You know, but in every park you go to was good except for that one. I mean,
Well, I have gone negative 3 times in a row on Kannapolis, but even that is better than Winston-Salem.
even Kannapolis would go out of your way to help if you needed it. But
Right.
we've just been there so many times before this year that we know what we want. We know where everything's at and everything. So, but as far as
I need to move
going
this back just a
to,
little bit.
I mean, you gotta get the dirt in there too. Oh, you're moving forward.
Yeah, because I can't see the time on the bottom of the thing. I need to know how long we've gone.
And but going as your first time experience there and you not knowing anything and them helping, that's everybody done that.
If we can go back to food for just a second, this is last year. I really appreciated Kannapolis' all-you-can-eat night. That was great. That was on my birthday. I had like 4 plates of fries. They got the crinkle-cut fries, which I think are the best.
I think our fries are the best.
My fries are good when they're hot. When they're cold, they're...
They got that
Garbage.
good seasoning on them.
But you got to get them right when they're hot and fresh. If they're 3/10 off hot and fresh, they are awful. But when they're hot and fresh, they are delicious. Yeah, all right. So me and Alan have our answers for best and worst staff. Well, we've all got the answer for worst. Jennifer, what's your
I'll
best?
just straight up go with Burlington for best because Frisco was. I mean, our main thing there was Chris, that guy you met. So I mean, he doesn't even work there.
Oh,
so.
and by the way, anybody that works at Hickory that might be like, why are they not saying this is strictly from other parks that we've been to this year. That we're not even considering Hickory in these questions because this is about our road trips. Just saying. I don't want people. I don't want to show up at the game tomorrow.
Well, I
and
mean,
have,
I did just say we have really good fries.
and
I did
have-
want to throw some
and-
positive stuff there.
If I show up at the game tomorrow and Chris is like, well, how come we're not the best staff?
We're just the best, period.
We're the best,
I really,
yeah.
really like that craw dog that we've been getting. Me and Lucas have been splitting this year. I like that macaroni and cheese on it.
Anything else about the Burlington staff before we move on to the next
No, it's just
category?
the best.
All right. This is one that I don't really know about a worse one, but I know the best one, and that is the fireworks show. Best fireworks show that we've seen this season. We've seen a decent amount at a couple different stadiums.
I know what you're going to say. I mean, it was nice. And
What do you think he's gonna say?
Asheville.
Really?
Yeah. I was thinking Frisco because they let us onto the field, but then I
And
remembered
that's
Asheville let us
exactly
onto the
what I was
field.
going to say. I've been, well, like I said, we're going this year. Durham was really nice the first time we ever went. But, yeah, I'd have to say, well, hell, all we've seen this year was Frisco and Asheville.
Burlington.
We can put
Burlington.
in our home fireworks shows on this one too.
I never stay because I want to hurry and get out of
Okay.
there.
At home, I really like the Star
Yeah,
Wars night
I
fireworks
guess we'll
show.
have to go with the best for me is Asheville. I mean, it was super long for just a normal regular fireworks show. There wasn't nothing special about it. So yeah.
Before Asheville, I was thinking all throughout the season. I was thinking that Frisco had the coolest fireworks show ever because they let us onto the field. But then Asheville let us onto the field and had a show that was like 3 times as long. So Asheville, they kind of had that November rain moment about 6 times where you think it's over and then boom, it's right. It's that infomercial thing. And but wait, there's more. That happened like every time the fireworks would end, you'd think they were over, and then boom, there's more fireworks. So Asheville had a pretty boss fireworks show this year. Hickory's, I like Star Wars night because I like Star Wars. It was last episode, and yeah. Also, I think it was pretty funny how me and Jennifer were saying that we thought the Burlington fireworks show was going to be real ghetto and cheap, and then it was not.
Yeah, I picked Burlington as my favorite. That's really about the only one I really remember.
Okay.
I didn't know there was going to be a test at the end of the season.
No, it's not a test. It's our opinions about the best and worst of the year. How far are we into the? Only 25 minutes. Well, we've been rolling through these. I thought we'd have a little bit more discussion, but we're in agreement on a lot of these things. Here's one that might. I know my answer. Best home promotion. Star Wars night. For me.
There was no promotion to it. Just the fact that somebody dressed up like Rey and it was super exciting for you in your pants.
Shut up. I like Star Wars night. Not only because Rey was there, but the music, the characters, the fireworks show, everything about Star Wars night was great. And
what about the Superstars?
that was fun too. But that's not better than Star Wars night. Alan?
Frisco.
I said home promotion.
Oh, home promotion.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't really have a favorite. I mean, just me being in the stadium whenever they're home is enough for me. There wasn't nothing that drew me into. Because this year's promotion sucked. There wasn't nothing great that I was looking forward to. I mean, we missed the cat night because
it rained.
It rained, so we don't know what that would have been like. There was a lot of rainouts this year.
That's across all of baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, Halloween night was great too.
Yeah. So I said we missed that. So I guess the only thing I really have to go with is Berserk or the Superstar.
And I don't like either one of those.
I liked Berserk better than the Superstars, I think.
Really?
I don't know why.
They had that pretend umpire out there dancing. For a second, I was thinking, okay, is that... I was thinking one of two things. One, that's a planted actor that's pretending to be an umpire. Or two, they make South Atlantic League umpires take a dance class.
I think that would be funnier.
It turned out to be the first one because he ran back in the dugout and then another.
Yeah.
Then the real umpire came back out. So I think the other one's funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jennifer, do you have a home promotion that you really like?
The Berserk.
Okay.
You really just don't want me to go with that, do you?
No, it's a good. It's not as fun as the Superstars.
Well.
I got completely covered in silly string the first.
Look, I remember now. Oh my God! I'm upset that I didn't say it because I'm wearing the shirt. Christmas in July when we unveiled the red seat.
I wasn't there that night. I wish I would have been.
Yeah, that was my favorite, and I don't think anything's gonna top that ever.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there for that.
So, but the red seat wasn't the promotion night. That was just
the night we promotion had. Theme night. Just favorite.
But next year when we have red out nights, it will actually be for that red chair and go to the organization. You hear me, Chris? You know what I'm talking about. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about Halloween night. That was also.
It's usually pretty good because they have those Lake Hickory Haunts guys there.
Yeah, and lots of people had costumes. More people than I thought would. I thought nobody would really do that, but a lot of people did. All right. Alan, you already know what you're going to say for this one because you spoiled it. But our favorite promotion from somewhere that we've been this year.
All he said was Frisco.
Well, I don't know. What happened in Frisco?
Yeah.
It was the breast cancer night, and plus it was in Frisco.
I can't think of one. So
I mean, if I want to say, then it wasn't even a promotion night that night anyway. It would have been Round Rock when I got the No One Round Bobblehead, which was the promotion for the next night when we wasn't there. If that makes sense.
Theme nights, promotions. I was thinking the categories there. Jennifer, please say yours so I can stall because I can't think of mine yet.
What kind of... Did we even go to anywhere when there was promotions away?
Did we ever go to ABC $2 Monday?
We didn't. Where is that? That's Hagerstown? Delmarva.
Well, I guess I got to go with the breast cancer night too because they giving out those wristbands and everything.
We've done that all weekend.
Yeah.
I picked the Wood Ducks when they gave them kid socks away because them was cool socks. But
Did
it
you get
made
some?
me no. Only kids got them,
Did
which
Lucas
made
get
me
some?
sad. Yeah, he said I couldn't have them.
Didn't they also give away the headache powder that night, and we lined it up in the hotel room like it was
Was
Coke?
that the same night?
Probably.
That's my favorite away promotion was the free goodies headache powder because we got to pretend like it was cocaine. Also, we never said a worst home promotion because, like Alan said, there wasn't really many to choose from this year, and they can't really go with a worst away promotion because we didn't really go to many away promotions. But breast cancer awareness, that's always a cool thing to get behind. How about our favorite and least favorite mascot from somewhere that we've been to?
Can I just say my least favorite mascot that I've seen?
What's your least favorite
That
mascot?
scary ass bear. Where's that scary ass?
Oh,
That
it's
arena
for the
football.
arena football in Asheville.
And I was over
They
there
have an
eating.
arena football team in Nashville?
And I was over
They
there
have an
eating.
arena?
And he came over there and
That's
kissed
like
my
UNC
hand
Asheville.
with his scary teeth.
Tim E. Gator is the worst. He's terrible. He never shows up. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't know that.
The worst? I can't think of one, but I do know the worst
Candy,
one.
because she never shows up? What's she been to?
Candy looks weird. Candy,
It
that
looks like she's strung out on meth.
not you, not Candy, the human woman.
Candy
that
the
we know.
crawdad.
I'm gonna make y'all mad on this one.
Candy, the human woman that we know that might be
Are you gonna
watching.
say
We're
Frisco?
not talking about you.
Are you going to say Burlington?
Yeah,
Why?
it's the worst mascot.
Because it's just a ball?
It's yeah, exactly. It's just plain. That's probably the only down thing that I could ever say about Burlington.
I've not been there this year, but I hate Atlanta's new mascot. Just a stupid ripoff of the Philly Fanatic.
But best, oh,
Conrad.
well, of course, Conrad.
Conrad's the best mascot in all of sports.
But if we have to go with an away, Dude, because Dude gets into it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
shakes that
He
tail
is
feather.
a pretty cool mascot.
I think Dude's my answer too. I was also thinking of the one in Durham.
Yeah, Wooly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
He does some pretty cool stuff,
Yeah.
too.
I mean, oh well. I mean,
The Mudcats one is pretty cute.
yeah, and especially the baby one. But I mean, the first time we ever went to Durham, last year, Wooly came in
Yep.
and dropped in center field from a helicopter. There's nobody. I mean, I'm sure it's been done before, but I mean, how do you top that?
Yeah, I think Woolie's mine actually.
So, but yeah, like I said, I like Dude, and Bingo in Burlington is my least.
It wasn't an actual mascot, but for a baseball team, but a mascot for a bean company that was in Tennessee. Duke, the dog. That was neat.
Who's their mascot?
It was a dog.
Is it a dog?
Yeah, it was like a superhero dog.
That's the worst one.
Oh, did you just?
We
It
break.
did it again. Yeah,
That's the worst mascot.
you're gonna have to say it. I don't know if it called it.
The worst mascot is that Tennessee Smokies dog, because that's terrible. You should look him up.
I think Round Rock had a cool one. I can't even remember what it was, but I remember thinking it was cool. Oh, do we have all the examples here?
Well, no, not all of them.
Well, let me.
But
These
there's
from-
the creepy Smokies dog.
Yeah, Dude's cool.
That's Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy was cool. Wasn't a big fan.
I mean, Spike and Round Rock was funny because when I took the picture, my goal when we go is to get a picture with the mascot with Lucas, and I make cards from Tops.com. But it was just funny because Spike had to go to the bathroom. And whoever was in the costume was like, I gotta go. I said, well then go ahead and go. And he's like, no. And they came back and took the picture with us.
Yeah, Woolie's my favorite. I gotta go with Woolie.
So, but like I said, there's a couple that I don't have cards made for, which is Bingo, Mr. Moon.
Yeah, Woolie's my favorite. And I meant to say Frisco, not Round Rock, because I'm not a big fan of Round Rock. But Frisco, that was a cool one. But
They have 3.
yeah, but Woolie, that's the
And
favorite.
one of them's an otter.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer, you already said yours.
You can't go with Nutsy because we didn't go
I
back
know.
this year.
Or that sweet little bat.
All right. This last one, I saved it for last because we've been to, and this can be home or away. This doesn't matter. It could be in Hickory. It could be wherever we went. The best and worst actual 9-inning game.
Oh, it has to be only 9 innings. So
Or,
we can't
I
pick
mean-
that 19 inning game.
I meant a game that we at least saw the regulation of. It could be extra innings.
So
but
you can't. Are you asking for best and worst?
yeah, it
So
can't.
we can't pick
worst,
Winston as the worst.
Worst can't be one that we left early. It has to be a game that we saw the entirety of that was the best and worst. And this could be a home Crawdads game. This could be an away game. I think the best game I've seen this year was all 3 games from Frisco. Those games were awesome. The first game, well, the second game, there wasn't really that special, but the first and third game. The first game, because it was like, 15-12 with 6 errors or something like that. It was like a 4-hour game. That was a wild, crazy, insane game. Go back to the vlog that I made in Texas that 6 people have seen for that game. And the third one, because we got to take the tour of the stadium, and because it ended very excitingly in extra innings, and because Allen was messing with that guy in center field, which was hilarious.
Yes, I'll have to. I didn't watch any games in Frisco. It was just.
It's more about the atmosphere and all there.
I feel like a broken record talking about it. It was just the atmosphere, but the last game when I was messing, and I've got his card back here. I can't remember his name, but he was messing with me back, and it was good times. But when we actually did sit and watch the game, it was awesome.
Yeah, that extra innings was crazy because I was sitting down on the third base side and you were sitting in the outfield, and it went to I think the 11th, and there was a walk off, and it was cold. It was crazy, and that was the game that I decided that I actually like the second base rule. It was that game that did it for me. Sorry, Tim. I know I'm gonna get there tomorrow or whenever I see you again. You're like, can't believe you still say that you like that rule. That's not Tim's voice. That was just me doing a bad whatever. And yeah, that game made me like it. The second game that we went to in Frisco, nothing special. But the first and third, the first game and the last game that we saw in Frisco, just from the first pitch to the fireworks afterwards were just wild, crazy, insane. Because you had one game that had 30 total runs and one game that went to extra innings. It was just crazy. Worst game, opening night in Greensboro.
Mm-mm.
There will never be a bad opening night.
It was cold and we got killed.
Can I tell my worst?
Go for it.
That one in Durham. That game in Durham. That game was cold. Remember, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was cold, but
That game was terrible.
But then you got to go back. That's our first trip of the season, so therefore it
Greensboro was our first trip to see. But opening night in Greensboro was just cold, and we lost by a forever amount of runs, and
But still,
I
it's
just couldn't get
opening
anything going, and I just couldn't.
I'm going to go, and this wasn't a trip Ethan made with us, the All-Star game.
Was the worst or best?
The worst.
Wow.
Because it was so hot, and all those flies just all over us. It sucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the best?
Frisco.
Oh, you already said that?
Yeah.
That's a tie between the first and third game that we saw in Frisco.
The third game for me when I was messing with the guy in the outfield.
Jennifer, your worst, you said the game in Durham.
That game in Durham. That
Did you
one
say
was
your
cold.
best?
No.
I've not been paying attention.
My best were probably either when we played Lexington and did Quiet Please, or last.
Oh, changing my answer. Best
I'm going best.
best away game was Frisco. Best home game was Quiet Please.
Definitely Quiet Please.
That I wasn't at Scratch and Sniff, so I didn't get to experience that. But I think
that one this
Quiet
year,
Well,
though.
he pitched again this year and didn't do it.
Quiet Please is my Scratch and Sniff.
However, last night was pretty good too.
Yeah.
When you ask that do you even know what you're doing? And he shook it. No.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That one was pretty good.
I missed
the whole
that. 'cause I've
Quiet
been
Please
sitting with
was-
the other crew for the past couple of games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish out the season over there, and then
if I really want to go best,
I'm chanted out for this year. I can't do it anymore. I'm finishing the year out in 115, and then I'll be ready to chant again in April.
but if I want to go best
I'll
away,
do
it'd
it.
have to be the game in down east when we saw Yanio play.
Well,
I mean, come on now.
Or also, we got to see Altman pitch, and And his dad pacing
there
back
was
and
a lot.
forth.
There was a lot in that game that
That's
made it a
19
lot.
innings.
And Altman pitched last night too. So.
Okay, how about just best and worst moments? Just not even like a specific category. Just from this year, the best and worst just moments that we've had.
The worst.
Worst was the whole
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem and Lucas having his issue, and they wouldn't even let Jennifer in, and that was.
I don't know if there's been that many
There
bad
has-
ones
this-
other
this-
than that.
No, this has been a super great year, and it's going to go down in the memory banks, even though I can't
Yeah.
remember anything. But
Good
there's-
moments.
There's so
Quiet
many.
Please
Yeah.
was a good moment. Everything that happened in Frisco was a good moment. Just being in Texas, the 16-hour drive, that was wild. But then eating at Wild Pitch was great. Taking a tour of Globe Life Park was great. Meeting Alan's friend of a friend that had the barbecue place was great.
Winter's barbecue.
I would really like some more of that.
God, I know. Like I said, we plan on going down south next year, but
To Florida?
yeah, well, we'll see.
Well, I mean, all the other places that we need to, other than
Rome,
Hagerstown and Delmarva,
which
are up.
Finding out that Jocelyn watched the podcast was awesome. Just any time you get to see Jocelyn, because and Yanio too. But that's
When we mentioned worst places, did we say the hotel we stayed at?
I was
in
about to bring
Kansas?
that.
We left
That's
that out?
probably that's a low light. Was the hotel.
but at the same time, it's going to be a good memory.
And just good and bad
Yeah,
moments
I know.
from since we've done the podcast, just in life, like the Bad Daddies in Concord, that whole evening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was you there?
I was not, but you told me the story, and I felt like I was there.
The McDonald's drive-through the other night.
That was, I guess, that
Which
was
I don't
bad.
even think you told that on the podcast.
I don't think
Did
so.
you?
You want to go ahead and do it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
they just made me sit there and wait 30 minutes, and then they forgot about me. End of the story.
And
But-
Mega Man Chris happened to
but
be
yeah.
going to McDonald's
And,
at the same
and if it
time.
wasn't for Chris, then
It would not be a funny situation. It would not be a story, but there would probably not be anything
That
funny
probably,
about it.
would have ended up on the news.
I love that I finally got to eat at Whataburger and In-N-Out. Those were some two out west
Oh.
chains that I finally got to go to.
I want to breaking news. I don't
seat.
know if you know this. Did you? Well, you know this. This is for Ethan. Our scheduled pitcher for today. Do you know who
I
that
thought
is?
you told him that when you first walked in.
Let's see. AJ?
No.
Reed?
No.
Well, Noah pitched last night.
Who was
Uh,
up there charting last night? Did you pay attention?
No, I didn't. I wasn't even.
Tyler Phillips.
Look at that hair.
All right.
He will not be pitching today
Oh.
for us. He has been called up to the Wood Ducks.
Hey, good for
So,
him.
yeah.
Good for him.
They still don't have.
I mean,
How,
I'm gonna
but
miss.
they just
yeah.
tweeted, and I hope I don't lose it. How about Tyler Phillips? He
That's a lot.
retired 7 in a row and has only allowed 2 hits through 5 against Winston-Salem.
All right, time to make DeMarcus Evans a starter.
So, and DeMarcus Evans, for those who doesn't know, is actually made the Arizona Fall League.
All right. Oh, big news there, right?
Yeah, along with Yanio Perez, and there's some other ones that.
Justice for Yanio. Get him on that top 25 list.
Which one of our coaches?
The pitching coach for the Crawdads, Hymas, he's one. So.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, other good and bad moments. I'm thinking about. There's been a lot of really good moments from the Texas trip. Really, that was
Yeah, Texas is always gonna.
finally getting to go back to the beach after I've not been in forever, even if it was only for like an hour.
Alan let you stay there longer than an hour, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind the beach, but I don't really.
Oh, I mean, if you had a chair and you could see it, then
Yeah,
it would be better.
Let's see, Red Alert. That was a. How about top best and worst moments from the podcast?
How about this can of worms we opened?
Yeah, that I don't know if that was the best or the worst. It could go either way.
I think that was the best because it definitely wasn't a bad
It
moment.
felt like the worst for a while.
We got
but
the
then
most
maybe
views
it
on that
turned out
one.
okay.
That whole 2 weeks there was awful.
Yeah, the worst is not having the podcast for a couple weeks.
Yeah, but life happens.
But yeah, last night at the game we lost, so therefore we're out of the playoffs.
Well, it didn't even matter that we
It didn't
lost
matter,
because Kannapolis and West Virginia won. So,
But
That's a bad moment not getting to make playoffs.
yeah.
But there's been some good moments. We've had some walk-off wins, some incredible pitching performances, like Tyler Phillips a few weeks ago.
I think next year we're gonna try to. I don't want to be like sports news, but I don't recall us covering games through the week before leading up to the day that we do the podcast. We don't talk about the games, and hopefully next year, if we do this, which I don't think we're not going to do this, but we need to.
We might have a different studio, a real studio.
We might. We need to talk about the games of the week.
yeah, we need to take better notes and talk about what's going on.
Instead of talking about, what the hell we wore 4 days ago and why we decided to wear it. I mean, we're trying to make it entertaining and everything. And like Ethan said at the beginning of the year, we don't want to be the,
And then on
AJ
Tuesday,
Alexi had 19
yeah.
strikeouts, 2 walks, blah, blah, and just be monotone
19.
and then lose interest. But, still make it.
Those are rookie numbers for AJ, by the way.
So, but yeah. And
Also, AJ, fantastic dancer. We've seen that
I don't
this
know,
year.
Justin Jacobs might have him in an upside down suit. So, but I'm not saying we're ending the show, but since I'm talking, I just want to say thanks to the people who have watched, and thanks for the advice that you guys given us, even though we haven't taken any of it. I don't think.
It was a crazy idea. I remember the exact moment that we decided to do the podcast. I was sitting in a dentist chair during a root canal, and I just checked my phone, and Alan said, "Hey, I heard you said the other day you want to do a podcast. How about we do one about baseball?" And I was sitting there like, okay. Like,
I was on my way to work that morning, so 5:30 in the morning, it just said, "Okay, let's go. Let's do this." So,
and then we met at Dos Amigos in Lenore and discussed, and we came up with the name and everything. What was the names that we didn't settle on?
The sights and sounds from 108.
Too long.
Yeah.
Highway 108. That was one.
It was a lot of 108 stuff.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make it our own.
We wanted to make it more inclusive because we know people
We
that
wanted it
sit
to
in
be
other
dirty.
places.
So,
And we thought, what were some chants that we really liked that could work? And then I was like, the Dirty Balls podcast. And then, not saying that I'm the super good creative mind behind everything, because I'm not, but that idea was mine.
But yeah, we might change it up in small town baseball.
No, that's
You can't change
That's
the
It'd be
name.
funny.
gimmick infringement. You just latch on to a much more popular podcast and just take their name and hope that we get some of that. Some of that, people look up the real one and they're like, oh, his small town baseball too. We like baseball. Let's click on that. But
Whatever gets us views.
But I like the name. I like the
Dirty Balls.
I like shorting it. I like being like, yo, we gonna do some DBP today, and that's easy to say. You can't say small town, but STB. It sounds too much like STD. We want to promote that. We don't want. This isn't the chlamydia
It
show.
kind of sounds like STP.
Stay together, please.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, sure. Stone Temple Pilots. All right. That's how every Stone Temple Pilot song
I don't
sounds.
know what comedian you're stealing that from.
No,
but yeah,
look,
I've
not
heard
everything.
that.
Not
Yeah, I've heard
not
that.
everything I say is from a
Chris
comedian.
Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick. I don't.
Yes.
He's the guy that does that Walking Dead thing, right?
Yeah, and he's a comedian.
Yeah, I
and
know he's a comedian,
he
but
did that bit on his last special.
I've not seen his last special. I can independently have my own thoughts that
I
a
don't
stand-up
know.
comedian has also had.
I don't know.
90s rock groups
I don't know.
sound like that.
Okay, watch Ted 2.
That's also in Ted too, but that's not. But that's how he's right about that. That's how most 90s rock groups sound. And I thought that was the first Ted.
It might have been. It was in Ted.
It was one of the Teds that's in, but that's also,
Clearly,
I
that's where
agree
you
with
think
that.
got it from.
I can think of stuff on my own and have other people think of the stuff too. We've all had thoughts that other people have had. Not every thought has to always be an independent thing that no one
But
else has
every
thought.
thought should be run across Ethan. Is that not correct?
That's-
right.
How about what was our favorite tailgate of the year? I think when Monica made those burgers, is that this year or last year?
That was this year.
That's my favorite one.
He don't know nothing else about that one, but those burgers were there, and that's enough.
Mine was yesterday when we actually had players show up.
Yep.
Or when Jessica and Michelle came by, that was a cool one too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember much of that one. I was drunk.
Yesterday when the guy showed up, they had a couple of my brats. That was cool.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to?
When we had those pineapple upside down Jello shooters, that was pretty
Oh,
good.
that was good. Those were awesome.
That's when Monica or Michelle
when
and
Jess,
Jess was
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you want to go ahead and?
You want to go through the promotions for? Oh, that's right. There's only one game
No.
left.
I'm trying to think.
Tomorrow there will be plenty of tissues available at the gate for everybody crying because the season's over.
I'm trying to think of any more. Let's all take a few more seconds to try to think of any more best and worst moments of the year.
When Lucas told that umpire he sucked, and then the umpire tattletaled on him.
That was awesome. That was funny.
I'm gonna say last week when Lucas done the interviews.
That was cool. Coleslaw.
I have a lot of people come up to me and said that was a great idea, and we will do that more next year. Promise. So hopefully we'll actually have somebody sitting.
I'm
here
disappointed
with
that
us.
we never got a player on.
Yeah, well, like I said, our schedules.
With their schedules and everything, it's hard to get them to come all the way out here.
When they're home and not doing nothing, that's what they want to do.
I'm sure that we could get them to do an interview and record it or do the video like Lucas did.
Well, special thanks to everybody that listened, everybody that watched. Extra special thanks to Chris for coming on the show and Candy for coming on the show. And I think Tim was briefly on one episode, so thanks to him for being on. Is there anybody else that's been on that I haven't mentioned yet? Lucas, Cooper Savage, let's see.
I think that's about all of the importance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
yeah. That's
we should
everybody.
say thanks for Mark for letting us do it
yes,
in the cafe
thank you,
that
Mark.
one
Thank
episode.
You.
Thanks
I
for
think
Mark for
Chris-
coming by on this show.
Chris briefly spoke on that one.
Bryson, thanks for showing up to like 3 games this year.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate your presence. We really.
I appreciate you not coming.
Hollywood
not being a dick,
was-
but we had more room on the.
Hollywood showed up.
Spread out.
Hollywood showed up a few times. Brock Lesnar's on Raw more than he's at the games, but yeah, I had to get one last wrestling reference before the end of the season. So thanks to everybody that's been on the show. Thanks to everybody that's sat down in Section 108. Thanks to everybody that's liked and shared and watched and done anything about the podcast. I'm trying to think of anybody that we really antagonized this year that we can give a special not thanks to. I guess anybody that works in Winston-Salem, you guys are terrible. Step your game up, and we're never coming back unless that incredibly elaborate thing that I said that one time happens, which it's not going to happen. And so I guess now, without further ado, the only thing left
Madison
is...
Stokes family, please don't come back next year.
The only thing left, I guess, we can get to the giveaway.
Like I said, you guys saw it last week, but it's different. It's a team signed bet.
Oh, wait. Kyler was also, I forgot to mention, that's everybody that has ever been on an episode on camera. There we go. And Bryson.
Yeah. This bat has...
And Curveball Chris. Now, all right.
Yanni O's autograph on it. It has Jameson Fisher's autograph, Chase's autograph, and Deion Stafford's autograph. We were going to do this for the guys who actually came on the show, kind of a thing like that to give away. But we took it last week since we didn't have nobody, and my idea was for the nicknames. Well, we had the Crawdads. I gave the bat to Josh, and they signed it last week. Well, they grabbed the wrong bat. Well, I gave them this one yesterday, and they went and signed it. There's a couple of them that didn't, but the ones that did, their numbers are on here.
Where's Jameson on here? Is he on the
Fish sticks?
Yeah.
Red.
I forgot to mention another one of my favorite moments when Jameson remembered me and he was like, Ethan. And I was like, whoa, that's cool.
So, but yeah, we're going to give this away. I've got 7 names here. Jennifer, if you want to grab the camera so that way people can see the names on my list, or I can get it.
You know how good I am at this. What?
Make sure you're grabbing the right end, or else you might accidentally turn off the video. Yeah, right, you had it. You had it right.
No, I did. I knew what I was doing. I was trying not to have my hand all in it.
That's inverted. That's backwards. Just hold it towards me, and I'll.
There's my list.
That should show up.
Do you want to read those names off?
Yeah, sure. All right. Okay. Jonathan Suits. Suits. Who's Jonathan Suits?
That's a guy from Texas.
Okay, Jonathan Suits. All right. Have fun out there in the Lone Star State, Jonathan. Jeremy Lale. That's a guy that we know. Tim Blackburn. That's another guy that we know. Jonathan Wood. That's another guy that we know. It's always good to have Wood. Pete. No, I feel like Jimmy with the names at the end of the small town word. Walsev. Walsev. Okay. All right. Christopher the Mega Man Pack. And Heather Baker. So those are the only people that participated in this. So you got a pretty good chance.
So what I've done is I've went to random.org. There's 7 names on there. And I'm going to randomize this 3 times. And whatever number pops up right there, correlating with the number on the paper, is going to win this autographed bat.
All right. Now I'm not going to look. So just tell me the number when you're done.
There's 1. There's 2. And number 3. So whoever is number 2.
That's Jeremy.
So
Jeremy, you are the winner. All right. So I'll
Treat this bat better than you treated that balloon animal product yesterday.
Yes. Jeremy, if you're not at the game today, I'll give it to you tomorrow, and we can and so enjoy the bat. So it's got a bunch of signatures on it.
Enjoy the wood.
Yeah, enjoy my wood we're handing you. But yeah, again, everybody.
You didn't come by yesterday to get a wiener, so we're gonna give you some wood.
Everybody, thank you so much. It's been a blast. You know, granted, you know, everybody that's watched this is the people we see pretty much every day. And hopefully we get bigger and better next year. Definitely better. So, thank you guys very much.
Bigger is subjective, but better for sure.
And with that,
Jennifer Day, for the last time in this baseball season, because we might make like an episode around Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or something, just to keep up with everybody. But for the last time for the 2018 minor league baseball season, Jennifer Day, please take it away.
I just found out something really exciting today. We had lunch at Zaxby's, and they gave us this flyer. This is for just the Zaxby's on Springs Road, I believe.
Oh, man, I thought it was going to be in Lenore.
Well, this says at the following location only. So, Springs Road. If you come to Zaxby's on Springs Road on Wednesday, September 5th, if you save your receipt, you can receive the same order for free once between September 6th and September 19th. It is called Repeat Day.
Repeat Day.
So, I think...
Repeat Day?
What? Repeat Day?
Repeat Day.
Repeat Day.
Repeat Day.
Are we going to keep doing this?
No.
Okay. I think you should probably go out and do that because it sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Get your money's worth too. Like if you get paid that following day, just spend all the money that you have left on chicken, and then you can go back the next day and get stuff for the whole family.
I mean, it says your whole order.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you know, win. You can win that. Beat the system. Get a bunch of stuff. So special thanks to everybody that we just said a special thanks to a few minutes ago. Winston-Salem, y'all know what to do with yourselves.
one more thing. Nobody in the Texas organization is actually going to do anything this year except Spokane Indians. And I want to send a big shout out to Tanner Gardner.
Because we forgot this last week.
We forgot last week. This guy went on a tear a couple weeks ago. He had 8 RBIs in one game, had a grand slam in it. Another game, he had 2 home runs. I was talking good stuff about him to Chris, and then I got in the car, and the phone went off, said he had another home run. So keep up that good work, guy. You know, he was our player last year.
I'm a little worried that we won't see him in Hickory next year because they would be smart to go ahead and send him to Kinston, but I don't know.
Do we want to close the season with our World Series predictions? This is a baseball podcast.
Braves are going to win it.
Braves or Red Sox?
The Astros.
I wouldn't mind a repeat. But yeah,
Wait, are they even like good in the?
I thought they were
are they
doing
leading
good.
the
Are they
division?
doing good?
I don't know anything about Major League Baseball.
I know the Braves and Red Sox are both doing amazing right now.
I know
So
the Braves are doing great, and Rangers are sucking.
and the Red Sox are doing great too. They're the Red Sox. If the Red Sox don't win, there's something wrong with
But
it.
yeah, hopefully Spokane will win their championship. They're actually playing the team that they're tied. Well, I think they're in the lead now because they won last night. So hopefully they finish strong, and hopefully we have a winning Texas organization this year.
All right, the last two special thanks I want to give would be to Clausen the Crawdad and Nannerpuss.
Nannerpuss!
My
Oh,
two,
man.
thanks to these two.
All right. Jennifer, you want any more
I
special
don't know
thanks?
what we're doing.
Any more people you
Thanks,
want to thank?
kitties, for not interrupting too much during the podcast
All
this
right.
season.
So there you have it. There is season 1 of the Dirty Balls podcast. We are out. We will see you in April or maybe before then. We don't know. Peace.
Deuces.